Hello, hello, hello. Circle message. Welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where you can come here first to quench your reality thirst, and we put the T in reality, period. Circle message. Hi, my name is Lana. I am your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, drink the tea, because you know I love me some tea. Period. Send.
Circle message. It's so great to be back for another season of the circle emoji. I love this show. Has been a lot of fun to. This show was a lot of fun to review last season and talk about. So I'm excited to get into this season. Send circle message, and I am a slay something gay. Slay.
Period. Period. So of course, you guys, we are here. We're back to talk about The Circle season 5. As Esme said, it was such a joy.
I don't know
to
why I
talk about
the 8, but
I don't know. I don't know, but maybe we'll be here for 8 seasons someday. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was such a joy to talk about The Circle season 4 last season. So I'm excited to be back and with you, Esme. I'm so excited to be back with you.
Me too. I missed podcasting with you because I feel like we just haven't been able in the same circles on this channel.
Yes.
I'm excited because this is a lot of fun, and this is like one of the. I think this was like the first one I did all the way through, except for the episode 1.
Yes. So it's been great. So let's jump right in. Let's dive right in because we got a lot to talk about. We got 4 episodes to talk about.
I kind of forget they released them in chunks until it happened. I was like, shit, they're feeding us tonight.
And it's like, oh, and I have to watch all 4 because I have to.
Yeah. My thing is, if they have all 4 episodes they're listening, why are they ending on cliffhangers?
That's a great question, Circle. Figure that part out if you're going to just drop us 4 episodes. I mean, I can understand you ending the 4th episode in the cliffhanger.
Right, like I understand the ending episode 4, episode 8, like, ending the chunks on cliffhangers. But I didn't need episode 1 being on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, when I'm just going to hit skip intro and go right to the next one. Like,
right, where I'm going to learn in literally like less than a minute, except with just more dialogue.
The same dialogue I just heard and then finally figuring it out. But so let's jump right in. I want to know, Esme, when you saw the Circle cast being released and you saw it was Circle's singles this season, what was your gut reaction to this cast and to the Circle single deal?
The single twist, I had no reaction. I really don't care, and I feel like it hasn't had that much of an impact on the season. I mean, there has been, but I feel like it's fine. It's not like my biggest worry was there was going to be like somewhat of a format change.
Yes, same.
But I'm glad it really doesn't seem like that. Besides, like a twist that we'll get to at the end, like a twist that we get to see in the preview at the end of the 4 episodes.
First, yeah.
But like that, it just seems like they're doing like the regular twists and whatnot. But I'm really glad they didn't go through and like make it like, because if it was, let's say this was Big Brother, they would all be coming in pairs with somebody, like.
Yeah, something stupid, something where it was like, oh, we're going to force the singles to be dating or do something.
Like I don't think the Circle works. Like you already have a date. Netflix already has a dating show where they don't see each other.
Yeah.
Like Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. You can't really do the Circle Love is Blind edition. Like, that's crazy. But what about this? Okay, now you know about the twist. Tell me about how you felt about this cast.
I was excited for 7 of them.
Okay. Okay. So let's just cut the crap. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
The elephant in the room.
Okay, we're Big Brother fans. We are Big Brother stands. We watch, we enjoy, we love, we hate. And this season of The Circle, they decided to pluck someone out of the Big Brother obscurity zone that we just could not stand, did not like, don't want to ever see on my TV, and they put him right back on my screen.
And I feel like I don't think I watched the full season that he was on. So now like I'm getting more content with him and I'm not a Brett bro.
I watched the entire season with Brett.
The
And
only thing I remember about Brett is I can't believe on my daughter's birthday, but that's not even him. Like
that's Rockstar.
His most memorable thing is being yelled at by Rockstar.
And not knowing how to spell alliance.
Analize.
I'm just,
That should have been his hashtag. His hashtag at his promotion should be hashtag analize.
And he's a cybersecurity person. Like, what?
Is he?
He is, unfortunately. But I'm just like, dude.
Everybody look to the left. Everybody look to the
right. Yeah, I kind of was just like, ugh. All right. I don't like this man. I didn't like this man on Big Brother. I did not like this man on Big Brother. I don't like the bro guys. Usually.
And it's not even and the issue is like he's not like a fun one, and like he's not self-aware. He like tries to be self-aware, but he's not really.
Exactly.
And it's grating. I will say where he is at now, I'm a little bit happier with what's going on with him now. Well, we can get into that with episode 2 because episode 2 stuff shifts.
Yeah. It was. Like I said, it's not the bro types all the time because there's some bro types that I did enjoy on my screen. He's just happened to not be one of them, and then his attitude the rest of that season was very much on brand for why I didn't care for him personally. And so I was, and even when I saw he was on the cast, at first I was like, I rolled my eyes instantly. I was like, oh, great. But I was open because of the fact that there have been times where it was people who've been on one show that I did not like them on that show, but then they get on another show and I see something different about them. I kind of like them. And it's like, oh, okay, not too bad. And I thought for a second, this might be the case with Brett because in this episode, in the first episode, he was very not the Brett we saw on Big Brother. He was very much like, he started, his intro, of course, he's being Brett, like, hey, I like to pop champagne in Vegas. That's fine.
Right.
Because that's your intro. You're trying to get yourself out there. You're being as crazy and loud or whatever you want to be. And I get that. I respect that. That's fine. But once the episode started, he kind of was not like he surprised me. The first circle chat where everybody was, he was very much kind of chill and quiet. And then when everybody came, he really didn't say anything. And I think that was the detriment of a lot of things that happened to him in the first episode.
Yeah, but he really didn't stand out to anybody.
To anybody, right. So I felt like he wasn't that Brett. And I was like, oh, well, maybe he won't be the douchebag that I thought he was on Big Brother. But we'll talk about that all later. So let's talk about the rest of the cast. We have Xanthi coming in. She's a model, but she doesn't want people to know she's a model. She wants everybody to believe she's a preschool teacher. She is 25 years old. And so she was going to be
I think she picked the wrong picture to be a preschool teacher at the to start with her profile picture start her profile with. I think that was not the right direction to go with.
I saw a picture where she had on this like white turtleneck and a jacket, and I was like,
it was like more of like a selfie thing. It was like more, it was like that. It was a more cozy one. And I was like, that should have been your picture because it reads more as a teacher.
It reads more as a teacher instead of a model, because as a teacher, you still have to sometimes present yourself on social media a little less. You can't be as, as scantily clad or provocative in your dress,
and
because you're a teacher.
The thing is, teachers can look like anything. So teachers can have any type of face, but they will tend to dress more in a certain way. That's I don't think I would have been like, oh, she's just like a teacher that like is pretty, like that would have been my thing of thinking.
Right. It's like, oh, she's just a pretty teacher, because there are lots of pretty teachers out there in the world, because teachers are pretty and teachers are gorgeous and teachers have very nice bodies. So, but you just have to know how to scale it back a little bit. And I think if you're going to sell yourself as a preschool teacher,
especially a preschool teacher,
yeah, you couldn't come out in a cutoff dress like she did. It's like, oh, and I think that was also her.
I think that like pretty much started her downfall as issue. Was like she kind of went in with
people didn't believe it. I don't think people believed it. And when you're coming on a show where people always are looking for catfishes, you can't give them a reason to think you're a catfish, especially if you're just not. The next person we're going to talk about is Chaz. Chaz is playing himself, but he is a car cleaner, or car detailer, cleaner, mobile cleaning guy.
Detail, yeah.
Which I love, by the way. But he's going to come in as a nurse, because he did go to nursing school for 3 years. He just never finished. And I like Chaz. He's 28 years old. I love Chaz. I'm just going to say that now. I love Chaz. Chaz is definitely one of my top 3 people.
Chaz is one of my top 3 as well. I don't know where
where I rank him, I'm not going to say yet. We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about the end. I can't wait for me and Lana to have the same exact top 3.
Period.
Just like in a different order.
Period. And so Chaz, I love Chaz. I think Chaz is amazing. He just seems very open for friendships in this game. And he plays like I play. He seems like that type that's like, sure, I would love to win, but I'm more here to beat people and play with people and just hope people play with me. You know what I'm saying? And he just seems like a nice guy. I enjoy Chaz. I have to say this for Logan. He's part of the LGBTQ plus community, period. Because Logan loves to point them out for everybody. Yes. So you all know. And so he is part of that. He's not actually single, but he will be proclaiming himself to be single in this game. More thoughts about Chaz?
Chaz, I like a lot. I think he's very honest and very smart. I think he's one to watch out for. I think because I feel like he's one of the only people I feel that's really, really playing a strategic game.
Yes, I agree. Next, we have Marvin. Now, we've heard a lot about Marvin from Big Brother 24.
And I think this is the right show for him.
I do not think he would have succeeded very well in Big Brother. I think he would have been,
because it would have it would have been him instead of Joseph.
I needed Joseph in my life.
I think Joseph needed to be there, and I think if he wasn't there, it would have not gone as great for Taylor. It would have even gone worse for Taylor.
It would have been worse, because I think Marvin is very much not down for the cause. I'm just gonna say Marvin is not down for the cause.
He's in the Melanin Alliance.
Yes.
But I don't know if with the pressure of having like 14 other people in the ear telling you and lying to you about like for no fucking real reason. I think I don't know. I feel like I feel like he would have. I don't know. I see him getting lumped in with like Amira.
I think he would have believed everything everybody said about Taylor, and he would have been like on board with Monty, and he would have continued the Taylor bashing with Monty and Terrence.
Like I feel like he would have linked up with like Amira, Monty, and like Turner at the start, because like Turner or not Turner, Daniel, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like he would have just fallen into the thing.
Yeah, things happened the way they happened, and I'm happy that they happened, because I think this is a better fit for him.
This is a better place for him, and I think he'll have a better reception coming out of this too.
Yes. I'm still feeling out Marvin, because it's certain parts of Marvin that I'm like, he's in that 4th, 5th range for me.
Where I'm like, I want to see more from you. I like who you like in this competition. Like, I like who you're rooting for. Like, you can be a stepping stone from the people I want to succeed in this game.
Right. So I got good high hopes for Marvin. We'll see. And then we talk about Sam. Sam is also in my top 3
that top 3
that I just like. The second she came on my screen, she started talking, and I was like, New York.
I was like, oh, like her.
Like her. I was like, she's New York. She is brazen. She is brass. She is confident.
So
I
much
love
fun
her.
just in her own apartment.
Yes.
The fucking fly thing. You coming in here trying to ruin my breakfast?
Ruin my breakfast? What?
I don't think so.
I love Sam so much. She's just like, oh, she's so funny to me. Let me do that. Well, first of all, oh wait. See, this is why Logan is always here and I am not, because Logan knows how to do these things, and I just literally just did it wrong. But it's okay. It's all right. It's supposed to do this. Period. Anyway, so yeah, I love Sam.
I love Sam.
I love Sam so much. I think she's so much fun. She's so entertaining to watch. Even when she's not talking to anybody, like you said, she could just be in her apartment doing what Sam does, and I'm entertained. And she has gone through some ups and downs, even in these 4 episodes, which we'll talk about more. But I do like her. I like her a lot. And finally, last but not least, oh wait, not last but not least, because we have a couple more. We have Billie Jean, aka Bruno. Bruno is here. Billie Jean is 25, and she's playing her ex, Bruno. She's a model also, but she didn't want to come in as herself in a model, so she came in as her ex, who is also a male model. Now, Billie Jean, I like her. I do.
I like her.
I like her as her, though.
She should have played herself.
Right. Because her as Bruno,
I think she should have
giving me nothing.
And I think what she should have, honestly, she would have been much more believable to me in the Xanthi role, Xanthi role, sorry. Xanthi role of coming in as a preschool teacher who's a model, who's actually a model.
Yeah. I like her as herself more than I like her as Bruno.
I really wish she came in as herself and maybe switch up her profession if she was worried about that. But I really wish that she just came in as herself.
Yeah, because she's really not giving me anything as.
And she's even having trouble with that, as we'll get into later on. She's starting to struggle with that. And I'm I really wish you came in as yourself, because I feel like you would have a much better success rate. Agreed.
And then we have Brian, who, aka Brittany,
who I was worried for immediately.
Yeah, he's 47-year-old man playing his daughter, Brittany, a single mom of a 5-year-old, Riley. And
I was like, okay, so you're going out early, right?
That's literally what I said, because I was like, I just did not believe.
It never works out when an older person plays a younger person, it seems like. It seems to work out. The only way I feel like catfishes work when it's when you're going outside of your age range is when you play an older woman, because it seems to be the only one that really, at least with the 2 seasons I've seen, is the only one that seems to really go over well.
Yeah, I think if you're going to play someone extremely much younger than you are, you really, really have to study on that, and you literally have to spend time with this person to see everything about how they talk, how they speak.
You have to be knowledgeable on the pop, everything,
the pop culture. Yeah, everything pop. I could not go in the house playing a 27-year-old.
If you went in as me.
Yeah, I would not. I could not do it. I couldn't do it because I don't have the lingo, or I'm not so caught up on the pop culture of today. I know certain things, and
they'll be so wild for me, to know all these things about things that are not from my generation, and it's
right.
what's this? What's this about, Esme?
Right. I would never go in there with somebody as like a 20-year age gap between me. Because as much as we love to say, oh, I feel young. Oh, sure, I feel young. But I know every day when I get up and my knees start popping, I am not young, baby. So I can't go in there talking about I know all these Gen Z quotes and stats and slang and, things that you all know. And I don't know that.
Also, with like the rotation rate of Gen Z slang,
it
goes so quickly.
It's so quickly.
Like, I'm even out of the loop at this when being 21 now. Right? I'm out of the loop of like what's in, what's out. Like it's so quick, and I feel like if you can't keep up with it, it's not a smart idea to go in as not as yourself, or not as yourself, but going as somebody who is much younger than you.
Right. I will go into somebody like I'm 44 now.
Mm-hmm.
Am I 44? 43, 44. Oh my God, I am. But I would go into somebody like 36, 37. That's a good range because I can probably pull that off a little bit better than I could pull off 23, 22.
Like I wouldn't go as anybody older. Wouldn't go in as anybody older than maybe 25 because I feel like I don't have the knowledge of somebody older than 25, and I feel like that would get me caught up. Where I wouldn't be talking or holding myself in the way a 25-year-old would.
Exactly.
Or 26, like somebody older.
Somebody older would do. You have to make, and like we saw that last season with the girl who came in as her.
Who didn't know what a memoir was?
Didn't know what a memoir was. I'm like, baby, you cannot be 60 something and not know what a memoir is.
She was 21.
But and you knew what a memoir was. I mean, that's just. I would love to give her the excuse of, she's 21, but even 21-year-olds know what a memoir is because, baby, that's just common knowledge. When you go to school, you know what a memoir is.
I know high school and college. I know what a memoir is.
You just know. If you went to any school in your life, you know what a memoir is.
Like, I know they don't teach us cursive anymore. Like, I know we don't know cursive because they didn't teach it us.
Right.
But we at least have heard of the word memoir.
Memoirs. Like, even people 21 who like writing books.
Like, what would your memoir be titled? Okay, so that's a title. It's like maybe a book or something.
Exactly.
And then be like, okay, memory. Memory means what would maybe in memoriam, like a memory of like myself.
I mean, but the question was simply, what would your memoir be titled? So it's like, if it's a title of anything, even if it's a movie or a play, or it's a title, she could have just literally came up with, "This is my life. I love living it." Like something,
right? Something simple.
Something simple, like.
All right, we're talking about season 4. Let's go back.
Let's go to season 5. Okay,
go back to the present.
But yes, so I felt scared for Brian / Brittany from the very beginning because I did not really know if he was going to be able to pull it off. And then let's move on. Last but not least, Raven. With her, who is also in my top 3, period.
Yep.
Probably number 1. Not even
probably number 1.
Not even gonna lie. Love her. Raven is 26. She is coming in as herself, but she has someone with her, Paris, who is her interpreter because she is deaf and she feels more comfortable using American Sign Language. Than she does using her own voice. She says she can use her voice, but she doesn't feel comfortable using her voice. So she's very much more comfortable using sign language. And so she has her interpreter Paris there with her too. And I love the dynamic between Raven and Paris. Like, I think I would love her even if she didn't have Paris, but I think I love her even more because she has Paris.
Paris is in my top 3. That's why.
Yeah, Paris is definitely in my top 3. It's true. I love them. I just think it's so great. And I love her attitude. I love her spirit. I love how open she is about everything. She's like, I'm not trying to hide anything about myself. This is who I am. I am Raven. I am deaf. I love to twerk. She says, I'm deaf AF. I love to twerk. I love it. And she's just very I love that for her, and I love her trajectory in this game thus far.
Yes. I hope that she's able to do well, hope that she goes far. I wouldn't be mad if she's, maybe the winner. Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. But so episode 1 starts, everybody meets everybody. It's really typical circle fashion. They're meeting everybody. And the first 4 come in and they go into the circle chat after they make their profiles. Nothing really spectacular happens with the whole. It's just typical. Make your profile, pick your picture, go and meet everybody. That's what they do. The first 4 meet. It's all the girls, quote unquote, and in Brett. It's all the girls in Brett, and then the next 4 comes in. And then,
was it? I don't think Sam was
no, it was Raven, Xanthi, Brittany, and Brett was the first 4. And then coming in after that was Marvin, Sam, Chaz, and
Billie Jean,
Bruno. So they all come in. So the 8 meet, and they're talking in the circle chat. After the first 4 talk in the circle chat, the next 4 come in, they talk. Brett says nothing in the second circle chat.
Yeah, nothing. I was like, I don't really, even though the season I watched him, he wasn't this quiet.
No, he was very much a talkative person, very social. That's how he was one of the parts of the reason the 6,
the hateful. Oh
no, they weren't hateful. They weren't hateful.
Were they actually? Wait, no. Was it the committee? I don't even fucking. What are those all white lines?
It was the 6 something 6. I forgot what they were. What they called themselves.
Level 6.
Level 6. That's what it was. Okay, that's what they were. Okay, that's what it was. That's
what he was. To figure out what the fuck up alliance,
majority
alliance from like the last couple seasons that run the game and ruin the season for me was what they were.
Yeah, because they ruined it. But yeah, I couldn't stand it. But he was very integral on getting the level 6 together. Like he was very much like, we need to get these people and group this group, blah blah. And he was the one being very social and adding people and went up to Tyler, that whole thing. So I was very surprised that he was very quiet and very laid back and reserved in this chat, where this was his first, first impression.
Fear for him of like, maybe people know me and I don't want to come off too big yet.
Yeah, and which is crazy because nobody seemed to know who he was.
Not even Marvin.
But I think Marvin was a recruit.
This just confirms that Marvin was a recruit for Big Brother because he didn't know somebody that would have been his Big Brother alumni. Like,
because if I promise
you, I was on that fucking thing and I was on the circle and I saw Brett has
Brett?
I would have been like, oh, Brett. I would open up his profile. I would have been Brett.
Yeah, I would have been like, oh, that. Oh no, he got to go.
I would have been like, me sending him a message. So, do you want to get 6th place again?
I'd have been like, so are we forming level 6 again or what? He'd be like, oh.
I said, me going in level 6 alliance or 6th place.
I mean, oh my gosh. I could not believe that. But nobody knew who he was, which was interesting, which is fine. But he didn't say much. And I think like Sam was very much.
Honestly, I'm not surprised. I feel like maybe Netflix didn't want somebody to know who he was. So they would have
Look, he know how hateful that people didn't like that season that much. So So it is what it is. I mean, he wasn't in the hateful alliance. So if he was in that season, he would never like, don't say nothing. I wouldn't say nothing about
if they were gonna oh my god, if they were gonna bring a 6th place Big Brother person, why didn't they bring Hannah Chada? Bring her for the circle.
I would love to see Hannah on the circle. I think she would kill Slow.
I think she would do better than she did on Big Brother, to be honest.
I do too. I think I think she would be amazing. But so it was very much interesting. It was interesting how people were, forming and grouping off and coming into, making their little group chats or whatever. But we got to see Sam like like really come out and like this is why I didn't understand what was happening with how people portray Sam, because she came out the gate and was very, to me, seemed like very interesting, somebody to talk to. She was like funny and outgoing, and I don't know, but people they like who they like. But then we got a surprise. We got a surprise this season, very first, right out the gate on episode 1, because they were doing the rankings. I mean, normal, do the rankings. Everybody's going to rank, and it's like, okay, let's rank. Everybody ranks their players. After just talking in the circle chat, not a whole lot of interaction.
No, the second half was very dry.
It was weird and dry, right? Because it's like they talked to the circle chat together, and then after a little while later, it's time for rankings right off the gate. And they're like, how do we rank these people when we literally just said hi to everybody? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. So they ranking, and they write their rankings, and then we find out that 2 people are going to be blocked from the circle on the first night.
And my immediate thought was, okay, so they're becoming 1 player.
That is my immediate thought too. Literally my immediate thought, because I'm like, circle, you are not slick. You are not double eliminating 2 people the very first week. The very first day. You're not going to.
Like, I would have been in my room being like, I would be like, okay, so even if I go out, I'm staying in the competition. That would have
I mean, look, you say it, but you don't say it out loud, so the circle don't know you know everything. But I know. I know circle.
I would have had the camera like this.
Right. Okay, circle.
The thing is, I don't know if I would have said. I would have maybe hinted at, like, I don't think I would tell anybody that that's what I was thinking, because I don't.
Oh no.
No. Like, I wouldn't tell anybody. But I would be like, okay, it'll jump forward. These 2 people, either Jennifer or Tom, is these 2 people. Is one or the 2 people that just left.
Yep. That if I was in the game, that's what I'd be thinking. Like,
especially because if nobody came to visit them.
Right. And then, like, they didn't even have a circle chat after the news feed. So, yeah, I would have thought the same thing. But we jumped ahead a little bit. But we'll just jump. So 2 people were going to get blocked. And so this is how they were going to do it. They had everybody say who they would block if they were the influencer. And I literally gagged, because I was like, you are not putting these people out there like that.
Nasty for this.
It was gross. So gross.
I don't know what I would have done if I was in their shoes. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now?
I would have screamed, because it's literally like, you want me to tell people who I would put out if I was the influence. What if I'm not the influence? Then this person knows that I want them gone. Like, no.
More than half of them were influencers.
Yes. Which is kind of weird. So I would have been freaking out. But that's what they had to do. They had to tell who.
I mean, I like the drama, but if I was in their shoes, I would have been pissed.
I would have been pissed. I would have been so upset, because it's like, you put me out there to, okay.
What? To get a target on my back?
Right.
So you don't love me.
You don't love me. You want me gone, because that's what you're doing. So, okay. So they do it, and they tell everybody. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I can't. I think I remember most of the people who wanted people blocked, but they started with. I don't remember the order, but okay. I'll just go from what I know. Xanthi wanted Marvin blocked.
And Marvin was gooped.
Marvin was gagged. He was very much like, what? I chose Xanthi to go high. I wanted Xanthi to stay. But Xanthi was not the influencer. So
but
Marvin was not. Good for him. Marvin was not blocked. Bruno chose to block Brett, but Bruno also was not the influencer, so Brett was not blocked. Then Sam chose to block Brett, and but Sam was not the influencer. So
if I was Brett, I would be like, okay, shit.
Right. At that point, Brett chose to block Sam.
So it was a mutual hatred.
Yeah, very much mutual. So, but Brett was not the influencer, so Sam was not blocked. Marvin. Oh, it came down to Raven
blocked
Brett
as well, and
Brett was the influencer, so Brett was blocked.
Brett was first boot.
Brett was I don't care how you put it. Brett was first boot. Block done. Brett's gone.
Brett was first boot. I love good news. I love good news. My ancestors were happy.
I'm sorry, Brett. I'm not a fan. And
Brett isn't gonna watch this.
If you do, just in case.
When I DM this clip to Brett,
it's okay. It is what it is. I no, sorry, not sorry.
Maybe he'll grow on me.
Maybe Brett. So Brett was blocked. So then it came down to Marvin and Chaz, and Marvin chose to block Bruno,
mm-hmm.
and Chaz chose to block Xanthi.
Yeah,
and so they found that was where the cliffhanger was for the first episode, right? Or did they say in the first episode? No, it was the cliffhanger. Who was going to be whatever. So we move into the second episode. And so, like I said, it was Marvin and Chaz's. And
Chaz also chose to block Bruno.
Brittany. Yeah, I forgot about Brittany. Brittany. Obviously, there's reasons why. I'm so sorry. Brittany is not giving anything in anything. So then, of course, then they come and find out that we said, okay, so Chaz chose to block Xanthi, Marvin chose to block Bruno, and the person who was the influencer was Chaz. So therefore, Xanthi was also blocked. Bam. There we go.
I was a little sad about Xanthi, but I was like, okay, if two people have to go, I'm fine with it being Xanthi.
Yes. But then, as Xanthi is packing and Brett's packing, then we get another alert.
What could this be? It couldn't be them, moving in together, could it?
We get the slow walk, and it says, well, first we get Xanthi, you get to go meet Brett. When everybody else got Xanthi and Brett are going to meet one of you face to face. So, okay. So Xanthi goes and slow walks her way to Brett's apartment, and they both realize, hey, we're both who we say we are. Great.
If I was in Xanthi's shoes and I had walked in and I was met with Brett, I would be like, oh no. And then I would have to live with Brett.
I mean, it's good to know that she does not know who he is, and it's good to know that, or she might know and don't care, and she might just be in that whole, she probably would have been in level 6 anyway. So if she was on Big Brother, so
I think though, I just put myself in there. She's like, what would my reaction be if I walked in to that room knowing, okay, likely I'm gonna be, because like I would know like that I'm gonna be paired with this person now and we're gonna go in as a catfish. But if I went in and it was Brett and I was standing next to Brett, I don't know what my reaction would have been. I would have been like, circle, I would have said, I would have not continued.
Would you like to play? No.
No. See, it would have been a gag. But...
Right, it would have been a gag, but no. I don't.
The circle, no. Me jumps. No. Me walks right back out the room. With
right. Bag. Would you like to see? No. Thanks. Just walk out. Don't say any reason why.
Brett over too, because Brett goes home.
I think my ancestors would be pleased.
Which also would fuck up their whole plot because it's like they wouldn't have enough. Like they would need to find another person real quick.
Oh gosh, that was so funny. But anyway, so Brett and Xanthi meet. They decide find out that they have a second chance, and they're gonna play as Jennifer. Another profile comes that the
I wonder who all these fake profiles are. Are they like producers on the show? Are they like crew members?
Who knows? But she's a 53-year-old dog walker, and they have to play a 53-year-old woman who's a dog walker, and they feel very comfortable that they could do this. They feel very like we could do this.
It's not a hard person to imitate.
No, because she's just 53 is not old. Like
it's not old. It's not a hard. It's not a hard job to fake knowledge about.
Right, you're a dog walker. Now they would say she was a 53-year-old neuroscientist.
It's like not like you're a chemical engineer.
Right, or a neuroscientist or something like that.
Or even like a nurse where I wouldn't know really what to do in that situation, you know?
Right.
Or a golfer, and when I get asked a golf question.
Right. Something that I just out of my range of knowledge. So that's what they're going to do. And they're going to live together. Whoop-de-doo. Great. So we move on. And I mean, and see, this is the thing. I like the circle for the format that they have. But some of the stuff I'm just like, I don't care about. Like these games that they have, some of them I don't really care about. Like they did a game of like, who would you be if you know, like, would you be a leader, a follower, or a team player? I don't really like. We didn't even talk about that because I honestly
forgot about that.
Forgot about it. It's kind of not something that is interesting for me to talk about.
It wasn't really that interesting. It felt like everybody kind of picked the same answers.
It was very safe. It was very safe, and a couple of ones that were like, "Oh, I cheated once. I cheated multiple times." You know, sort of like that. Like people were honest about that, but some people were not. So it's okay. But so the next morning after we get Jennifer, then we get Tom coming in. Tom comes in, and Tom is a stand-up comedian
who's in line for the British. No, I'm kidding. I mean, kind of.
I mean, he's in the line, but
it's like
he says, he has apocalypse after.
He has about as much chance of getting the throne as I have as becoming the president. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's just not happening for me. It's not happening. So yeah, Tom comes in. He's 36. He's a stand-up comedian. He lives in the London Tower because his father works in the Royal Command chain or whatever. So that's something.
We need heirs here.
I don't know what the whole royal line is. I'm sorry, I'm American. Don't really care. Don't really care. If your name isn't Harry or Meghan, I really don't care. Period. So yeah, that's his thing. So Tom comes in same day as Jennifer, and they get to. I think they get to interact with everybody a little bit. Yeah, they talk to people, and then they end up going on a date at some point for a game.
Because they both of them send in their best pickup line.
Oh yeah,
and it was the vote tied, but because
the influencer, which was Raven, chose
Raven, who was a top influencer, picked
Jennifer.
Jennifer gets to pick who goes on the date, and Brett and Zan both agreed to go on it to bring Tom because they're both new.
They're both new. He hadn't talked to anybody really. He's not corrupt.
And also more than half of those people chose to block one of them.
Right. So
I mean, half of them chose to block Brett.
So it makes sense. And it seems to be working out for them because they go on this date and they make this alliance on this date that they're going to tell each other everything. He can talk to the guys, Jennifer can talk to girls, and they can come back and, spill the beans on everything that happens and get understanding on what's happening on both sides of this game. It's like I say, the games. Then they have a party. They have a spring break party.
Mm-hmm.
They have a spring break party, and they're dancing, and then they're, living it up, having fun. Great.
Yeah.
It's episode 2 was kind of like a bunch of fluff. It was definitely filler. It wasn't a whole lot of anything. We got some conversations happening with was it Sam and Chaz and Brittany. But yeah, Sam, Chaz and Brittany. But Chaz is still, at this point, he wasn't feeling Brittany. He wanted to give Brittany a chance. He was like, I don't know if Brittany is who Brittany says she is. She's giving nothing to the conversation.
And she continued to give nothing.
Like they had no, yes, like nothing the entire time. And I was sitting here watching like, wow, you really have to be open up a little bit.
And you think, right, God, huh?
She really thought she was giving when she was giving nothing the entire time. She thought she was. Oh my God! It was like, I mean, he was like,
didn't even nibble.
Didn't even make a plate, honey. Didn't even make a plate, and he was like, look, they closed the kitchen up before she got there. She didn't get a plate. It was just like so bad. Like he was just not giving anything, and all his answers were very much like surface level answers. And it was like, when it's time to be open and vulnerable a little bit, he just wouldn't do it. It's just nothing. And so Brittany was kind of nothing. And so Chaz was kind of like, Sam was opening up a little bit, and Chaz was like, "Oh, I want you to do it, Sam, but not to her. With her in this chat, we need to just like nix that, and we'll talk." Because Chaz is like, me and Sam, I feel this connection, this vibe. She's a vibe, he's a vibe. They can do it, and I kind of like their duo. I like the Sam Chaz connection, but also other alliances forming besides the Tom and Jen and the Chaz and Sam. We have the Marvin Raven connection going on.
And
that happened
loosely in that.
And Chaz is loosely in that. Yeah, it's because they had the melanated alliance, which here I'm always here for anything melanated but I think that's later on, the Marvin Raven thing too. We'll probably go mix all these episodes up together because watching them all together is kind of like everything blurbs, but you all know you'll get the idea. So with the Marvin Chaz Raven melanated connection happens, and I wonder, this is something I always wonder, how much time do they get to talk to each other? Do they have free reign to talk to each other throughout the day anytime they want to? Or is it certain times that they can talk to each other?
Being like, I'm bored. Let me open up a chat and see if anybody responds to it.
Right. Like, I would do that. Or like, do I have to go to bed when they say it's time to go to bed?
All right. Would the circle fix my sleeping schedule?
Interesting. Maybe.
Interesting to think about.
So,
the circle or melatonin? What would help me?
I will take the circle any day.
I'll take the circle. Me and you can go in together.
Pair.
Well, no, that will defeat the purpose because then we'll just be talking to each other.
Right. Look, you can be my 3 a.m. Chat. I'm like, oh, that's me. I can't sleep. I can't sleep.
Can I come over?
All right. I'm downstairs. Just come down. Yeah. But
I wonder if anybody has tried to sneak out of their circle room.
Oh, interesting. I don't know, because see, this is my thing. I think I would be really good on the circle because I don't need to leave my apartment ever. Like if I didn't have to leave my house,
I don't need to leave my bedroom.
I I don't leave my house. I never, like, if I'm not at my house, I'm at my sister's house. Like, I don't leave my house. And so
if I'm not at my house, I'm at my sibling's house.
Literally. So I don't think I will ever, as long as I have food and
which they're
something
provided
to do, which they
it's not
provide.
Survivor. I don't need to fight. I don't need to win competitions for food.
I could just eat, and
it's
I
not
could
like only circle, but only the influencers get food.
Right. It's like, no, I can eat, and they can let me have books, and I can have, like, as long as I can have some books, I can read, and some things. I'm fine. I don't even watch TV at home anyway, so I'm okay. The only thing that'll mess me up is that I can't listen to music. Like, I like listening to music all throughout the day. So if I could just, like, have a little radio or something, I could just listen to some music, sure, I'm great. But they don't let you do that. But if they did, I would be fine. But other than that, I could do the circle. I don't have a problem doing the circle. But
well, I better see you on season 6.
Let's work that out. I'm gonna send in my application as soon as they open. But yeah, so all these different groups are forming, and it's we rant. I'm sorry about our rants, but
you have Logan here to rein us in.
Right, Logan's not here to tell us to stop talking. It's to get back to the show. But we everybody's me, and like I said, these games are kind of like, I don't even remember half of them because they're kind of like.
The only ones I ever remember is when they're anonymous.
And they did have an anonymous one coming up, and I think that's in the next episode.
I think it's in episode 3.
3, yeah. But this episode, nothing really happens. Like, nobody gets blocked this episode. Nothing.
There's a minor strategy talk. I feel like the biggest thing is we got a duo between the two newbies. We got a duo between Chaz and Sam, and we got a duo between Marvin and Raven. Why did I forget fucking Raven's name? Raven. And then it leaves kind of, and Bruno and Brittany are kind of on the outs.
Yeah. So that's episode 2, honestly. So we move over to episode 3 because really nothing happened in episode 2. And then episode 3, we have the anonymous dating profile thing, and that is the game that they played that time. And this is where we start seeing Jennifer in her villain era, I believe. Brett is very excited to be the villain. He's very much like, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this well. He gets information. They have girl chats and a boys chat this episode, because now
by Tom and
Jennifer, they're doing what they said they were going to do. They have these chats, and Tom is very much eager listening to. He likes Chaz. He's like, Chaz is somebody I think I could rock with, outside of my alliance with Jennifer. He seems like a cool guy. He makes me laugh. He's funny. Not really feeling Bruno a lot, because Bruno is giving absolutely nothing. Same going on the girl side. Jennifer is like, this is the plot twist for me. Jennifer is a fan of Sam when Brett did not like Sam at the beginning, and was not cool with Sam, but also feels that Sam is like more open to be friends with Jennifer.
Those people blocked him.
Yeah.
So like, and who did Brittany block? Bruno. Okay.
Bruno. But and I feel like Sam also, okay, this is something that did happen, that when they revealed the next day what the rankings were, Sam was ranked last. And so Sam felt very much like she didn't understand why she was last. She needed to up her rankings. And so Sam was very much open to being like, hey.
And they talk about Sam kind of scrambling a little bit.
Yeah.
Brett and Zan.
Yeah. They talked about how she was dwindling, and like she was very much open for like, hey, I don't know what I did, but I'm here to talk. I was,
Mm-hmm.
and so people, they kind of saw her as more of a, uh, instead of being somebody who they just want to get out, it was somebody they can use and somebody they can keep on their side, because Sam was very much was on the Jennifer train, and a lot of people were like, it was interesting. A lot of people were on the Jennifer train when Jennifer got in, and so they were very much like, cool with keeping Sam in from this point. So back to the dating app thing. So each person anonymously was
Most of
giving.
them were not neat. For most of them were kind of just bland. We don't really need to talk about a lot of them, but I feel like the ones that stuck out were Sam, the one that Sam got, Ravens, and there was one other that was kind of a little snarky.
No, I think it was really just Sam and
I think
Raven.
there was another one, but nobody really talked about it. It didn't like really have much. It didn't really have much moving forward.
Yeah. So Jennifer did Ravens, and they were very strategic on how they did it, because they wanted to knock her down some, because Raven had been influencer
twice
at this
and
point.
So has Chaz.
And Chaz had also been influencer twice at this point. So Jennifer was more like, we need to knock Raven down a peg or two, so she probably won't be as popular, and we can get her out of here, because the longer she stays, the harder it will be to get her out. And which I'm like, okay, it's a game. It's still a game. As much as I love Raven, I have to understand that this is still a game.
I think Brett and Zan are playing a really good game.
Yes.
I might not like Brett all that much, but I can respect how he's playing. He's playing a really good game, and I feel like Zan and him make a good pair and I think Jen is a good person they got for that. Is helping them out.
I feel like Brett is more strategic than Zan.
And Zan is more social.
And she's more social, so they balance each other out.
Like, it's not two people who are just social. It's like somebody who, like, it's Brett who has played a Big Brother, so he knows how to play the strategic stuff, be more strategic, and was on his season. And I think this, like, they both have their strengths, and they both balance it. Like,
it's a good balance.
It's a good balance, where I feel like if it was like Bruno and Brittany going into this and getting Jen, I don't think it wouldn't be as successful.
No, I think it would be still just as bad. It would still just be that. So so Brett and Jennifer decides to say that Raven is a snake, shady, or shady, and not loyal, and insensitive, and just very much like drug her on her dating app when everybody threw the mud. And so Raven was kind of like, oh no, somebody got balls.
somebody got balls now.
She said somebody grew some balls now, which I was like, yes, queen. And I love how she handled it, because like, she wasn't like, she didn't go into a,
they both wanted her to be more upset about it.
Of course. Look, we gonna be honest. Brett, he has showed his colors on Big Brother, and he expected the evil black woman to come out of Raven, and she was just like, I am not she. And he had to learn a lesson that all black women don't just pop off just to pop off when somebody got something mean to say. It is what it is. This is a game, and she understands the game, and she is not in front of your face to see you. It's anonymous. She don't know who it is. She can't just bust out and say,
"Oh, fuck you, Jen."
Right. She don't know. She has no clue. So to pop off for what? She don't know who did it. So it's just like, well, it is what it is. I see what it is. I see the game. I see that this is just somebody who's trying to come for me because I am an influencer twice, and you're trying to knock me down, which is fine. We'll work through it. But it's interesting. It was interesting to see that I enjoyed watching how Raven handled that. I enjoyed how Brett and Xanthia came at her, because it's like,
I mean, like,
the game of it all was like, yes.
Like, I think I'm more excited to see Brett because he's paired with somebody now. He's not alone. I feel like it's balancing out, and I feel like Zan like has been a little bit more vocal, at least in the room. But I feel like, from what if I'm remembering right, like Zan has been more talkative too, and like has had more lines. I feel like, well, Brett is more controlling Jen. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. And I agree 100%. I think all I want is for Xanthia to just tone it down, like turn down the volume a little bit. Like, you're screaming in my ears the entire time.
He reminds me of Chrissy, the bald girl, and
loud. Like, calm down, girl. Like, she's so loud. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't wear headphones watching that.
I don't know how I would do in a house with her. I feel like me and her would. I think because I like bounce off people's energy, so we would just be so loud. Is the issue is we would not shut up if it was me and Jen.
She's just loud. It was just it's so bad. So okay.
But I can't really say anything about that because I am not a quiet person.
I have my moments. I do. I have moments where I'm very loud.
It's glass houses, babe. I can't come for her.
I'm not super loud all the time, but when I have my moments of being loud, I can be very loud. And it's like, could you shut up, please? Loud. But like, she came in the door loud. She ain't never stopped being loud. Xanthi's just loud, but that's okay. You love her because she's loud. Yeah. So I think this is when we get the Marvin and the Raven duo in this episode as well.
It becomes much more a thing because they both kind of have hard eyes.
Flirty. They hard eyes at each other real quick. Yeah. But this also is where, because Chaz and Raven are the influencers again, by the way, let's put that out there, because they were the influence for the second time. I feel like we skipped over something.
And that's why Jen went so hard for them.
Right. And so now they had a thing where they get to save one person, and then the first night
save one person,
and Raven saved Marvin and Chaz saved Sam, which I was like, yeah.
And then Tom and Jen are immune.
Yeah, they're immune because they're new, so they don't get to. They're not a part.
Brittany.
So which leaves Brittany and Bruno.
Which is, the people who are kind of at the bottom of the social pyramid right now.
Exactly, and it's not a surprise at all. And so
I didn't know. I was 50-50 on who was going to go. But I wasn't sure. I was expecting those to be the bottom two.
Yes, same. I expected them to be the bottom two. I just didn't know which one was going to go off of that. But after all of that, we're going to go into episode 4 because I feel like it's all blending together anyway.
We might have already been talking about episode 4.
We've probably already been in 4. I don't even know. But it the next day, or we get finally Brittany decides to have a chat with Raven. Because Raven is still like, I don't know how I feel about Brittany. I think Raven and Chaz both went to bed that night, was like, I don't know how I feel about Brittany or Bruno. Don't really know.
And they both went to one, but they didn't go to the other.
Right. Which was crazy. Because if I am at the bottom, I'm going to both. I'm talking to both of them. But that's just me.
Because look what happened, because one of you's going.
So I'm going to talk to both of them and see. But so let's start with Brittany and Raven's conversation. Their conversation happened, and Raven was like, I really want to know. Because Brittany came in starting strong, was like, I just know what happened in the game yesterday. I want to come in and check on you, see how you're doing, how you feeling after that, because you got shellacked. Because in the other game, Brittany got a little
Drag. So
She
she
was
kind of
called
knows what it feels like.
right. She was called annoying and she was called boring at the same time in the same game. So it was kind of like, oof, okay. So she went to Raven and was like, "How are you feeling?" And Raven appreciated that she came and checked on her, and they talked and had a really decent conversation. Raven felt more comfortable because Brittany opened up a little bit about her daughter and how she's missing her and how it's tough being
I wish
away
we saw
from
more
them.
of this from
Brittany.
Because it was there, but we
Earlier.
needed more. Like it was there, but it needed to come out a whole lot earlier.
A whole lot earlier. And I feel like, and Raven was saying that she tugged at my heartstrings. This is something that I wanted Raven to talk about her mom passing and how she missed her mom, and she knew how it felt to be, to miss someone so much and to her being away from her daughters, and she missed it was a lot. It just tugged on her heartstrings, and she was kind of like, I walked away from this conversation feeling much more closer to Brittany than I ever did. Now, on the flip side, Bruno is talking to Chaz
DMs, and it's like what opens up pretty kind of cordially.
Yeah, they open up about how he doesn't feel comfortable. Sometimes he don't like himself because
right, because I mean, it does take a second because it does take Chaz, and he's like, well, literally just basically says like, let's cut it and let's get into some real conversation.
Right. No more small talk. We've had enough small talk, and I don't know who you are. I want to know who you are. And Bruno / Billie Jean wasn't expecting that. She really wasn't.
Oh, she was like, she went, oh, jump scare.
Right. Jump scare. She thought she was going to come into it, slide nicely, talking, nicely, small talk, but Chaz was not here for the small talk anymore. He's like, I don't know who you are. I need to make a decision, and I want to know who you are. And Bruno finally let go of some of the layers, which I understand because it's hard being open to people you don't know. And you don't know if they're going to use this information against you later on down the road or blah, blah, blah. Right. You don't know. But you do have to, at some point, give up the reins a little bit to keep your position in this game, in a good position. And so Bruno did that. She talked about how it's hard being a model and you don't know who, sometimes he only did it because he didn't even like himself sometimes. He didn't like the person who he was. He didn't like the person he was becoming.
This is interesting because it's like, this is her story. This is actually what she went through. She's not making this up. Where a lot of people who are catfishes do have to make up a lot of stories, but like this is true because this is who she was.
That's her story.
And this is just her thing, but like now just the only thing that shifted really is the gender.
Exactly. And so it was nice. And Chaz walked away from that conversation feeling much more closer to Bruno than he did to Brittany. And so that led up to a very interesting hangout between Raven and Chaz.
Because both of them went in wanting to keep the other one.
Because they had much more conversations with the other. So now it was like, who was going to come out on top, of whose decision was going to be the one that was going to be made? Who was going to fight the hardest for their person?
If it tied, if they just couldn't come up, I'm assuming it would have just been whoever Chaz chose, because Chaz
was the number one influence.
Was the number one. So if they maybe that could have been what happened. We don't know. But if neither of them wants to back down, it might just go to whoever the influencer is.
Yeah.
The
number one influence. Yeah. I don't know if that happens. If that happens, that'd be interesting. But I find that interesting that they both were very much
adamant and didn't really want to budge.
Didn't want to budge. But it came down to the last, and Chaz finally, they came up with a decision. And drum roll.
Brittany has been blocked from the circle. And this is the first real blocking, Brittany.
Real blocking. Brittany is gone. Brian is gone. And unfortunately, he will no longer be on the circle. He is the first boot of the circle.
Mm-hmm.
And so
he gets to
go ahead.
go meet somebody. He
Yes,
decides to go meet one of the people who blocked him, Raven.
which I found
And
was a good
Paris.
choice. And Paris, and he was very much very like such a good sport about it.
Mm-hmm.
And meeting Raven, he was just like he was so sweet. He was
Yeah.
so sweet. She was so sweet.
I kind of wish he came in as himself.
I do too. I do too. I feel like a lot of catfishes when they leave, I would like them to have come in as themselves. Because it's
I think Billie Jean is the first one I've really been like, I really, really wish you came in as herself because I'm seeing so much more of you just as yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt that way about the season. Like, I wanted old girl who came in as her dad to come in as herself.
Mm.
I felt like she would do so much better if she would have came in as herself.
Yeah. Yeah. She wouldn't have been first boo.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, I do kind of wish he did come in as himself, but I understand why he didn't come in as himself. But his conversation with Raven and with Paris was so beautiful, so sweet. And she just vibed, and they talked about who they thought was catfishes and who they felt like was playing the game. They want to believe Jennifer is real, but still kind of like don't really know. They don't think Bruno is real. They don't think Bruno is real at all. Nobody really thinks Bruno is real.
No.
And I was so okay. So this is what not bothered me, but I shocked it. Like every other episode, 1, 2, and 3 was left on cliffhangers. 4 was not.
The only one that makes sense to leave on a cliffhanger.
4 should have been the cliffhanger to get everybody to come back.
On a cliffhanger because we have to wait time for it. We don't get we get episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 all at once. It doesn't make sense to have a cliffhanger on episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3 when you're watching them back to back. I don't understand it.
Like, why? And there was no cliffhanger. It was just he left and that was it.
I was like,
oh, okay. I just was like, what? Nothing else? But no, that's it. That's it. Brittany's gone.
Brittany's gone. And we'll get to see the players' reactions next episode.
And somebody else, some more people will come in. We got the previews of what was going to happen and who's coming and blah, blah, blah. But it looks like a lot of drama's about to go down this next part. I'm excited.
Let's get to drama.
I'm here for drama, so I'm excited about that. Oh, okay. So we do know our top. We pretty much just said our.
We have the same exact top.
The same ones. But okay, ranking for 1, 2, and 3.
All right, Circle. I'd like to do my rankings. I'd like to put Raven in my number 1 spot. Let's put Sam number 2. Let's put Chaz at 4. No, not Chaz at 3. Chaz at 3. Marvin at 4. Tom or Jen. I don't know who's going up. Jen at 5. Tom at 6. Bruno at 7.
I concur with those rankings. I would switch Sam and Chaz. So Raven is number 1, Chaz is number 2, Sam is number 3, Marvin is number 4, Jen is number 5, Tom is number 6, and Bruno is number 7.
This is how I would rank them, like personally, if I was like kind of in the realm of the show. I feel like. That'll be me. I feel like that'll be how I would do it. But so that's it. I don't want to hold us long because it's New Year's Eve and, who knows what we got planned for our lives. But Happy New Year to you, Esme. I will just say that Happy New Year to you.
And
happy 2023 to anybody watching, because it's by the time this goes up, it will be 2023.
It'll be 2023. Yes, happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody has a prosperous and
great
New Year. Prayer. You all know what to do. Like, follow, subscribe, share. Tell everybody about it. Share everybody and tell us about, tell them about joining our podcast and tell us what you think. Follow us on Twitter at @the_cup_reality. And if you just feel like you just want to do it, follow me and Esme. Just if you wanna. We're cool people. And if you want to talk about the circle or anything else reality, hit us up in our DMs, let us know, and we will get you.
Glad we have space.
We have space for you. And so if you want to talk about anything related to the circle, you know what to do. Or any other show, because we cover everything from Circle to Drag Race, Eurovision to anything in between. So
Survivor, we're probably going to talk about the Traitors when that comes out.
Yes, we probably will. So just hit us up.
I'm excited for.
I'm excited to see too. I'm excited to see what that's about. But that's it, you guys. It's been a blast. I've had fun. Yeah. Follow, like, subscribe, all of that stuff.
Circle chat is closed.
Circle chat is now closed. Bye. Bye. This is why Logan is here and I'm not, but that's the right outro.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye now.
Bye. See you later.
See ya.